She spears her prey. The poised heron stalking the waters has food for her young. She's one of thousands of birds, animals and plants taking sanctuary in this nature reserve. It seems 1,000,000 miles away from this. But under new government-backed plans for shale gas drilling, these two worlds could soon be put on a collision course. Here at London's Wetlands Centre, I asked grounds manager John Arbon why these sorts of wetlands are vital to British wildlife.
But there are quite a few different moths and insects that will utilise it. One of our rarer species of mammal called a water vole, which is a small rodent that is tied up with living in water. It's actually ratty from Wind in the Willows, but they feed extensively on sedge in the winter.
And I mean, these birds are being quite noisy. What bird life do you normally get?
We've got a tufted duck here. These are the black and white ducks, and then there's a darker female. They're a diving duck, so again they're very aquatic, and they will dive underwater and they will root around for insects and plants. So they are dependent on feeding on open, deep water.
And it's not just the animals, humans need wetlands too.
Wetlands anywhere around the world are important because as a species we need water. Water has to be stored somewhere, it has to exist somewhere, and wetlands are the places that water and the land meet.
Apart from the odd flight overhead from Heathrow and some Canada geese, this nature reserve is very peaceful. There are 500 sites a bit like this one all over the UK on sites which are licensed for oil and gas drilling. But in the government's next licensing round, that number could rise to nearly 5 times as much. And wildlife groups say it could threaten this sort of tranquility.
A new report from charities including the RSPB and the National Trust, backed by Lib Dem, Labour and Tory MPs, suggests we should ring-fence special natural areas.
This isn't about birds versus energy or birds versus people. This is about being responsible. This is about making sure the right protection's in place to protect the areas and the watercourses, the rivers that people really care about.
Currently, any well pad which is less than 0.99 hectares in site is excluded from requiring an environmental impact assessment. We think that's wrong. Look, the UK is an entirely different country to the US. We're much more densely populated. We've already got heavily fragmented habitats. We think it's absolutely right in the early stages of this industry, and as should be the case for any new industry, to fully understand the nature of the risk.
So in a rush to catch the shale gas golden goose, has the government been a bit too hasty with incentives for fracking?
Well, I think some people are starting from entirely the wrong way around, which is, wouldn't it be nice if we had a huge proportion of our gas supplied by fracked gas? And then they're working backwards to sort of step through the consequences of that and work out the difficulties and details of that.
Back in the wetlands, calm reigns for now. But the government has sidestepped calls for no-go drilling zones, saying local councils and planning authorities are best placed to decide about fracking in special areas. But that won't reassure those who say the only sounds flying across nature reserves should be quacking, not fracking. Vicky Ellis, Energy Live News, London Wetlands.